Welcome to Station WBMCT, Black Middle Class Talk, where we talk, get down, throw the communication around, message, receiver, feedback. Let's get it on. Your host, CC, and your co-host, EB. Let's talk, communicate.
Side by side.
All right, we're back. Going to finish this off with entertainment for the last quarter of the hour. And so for entertainment, since we were talking about politics, and I know it seems kind of strange. We usually do sports or musicians or something like that, but we're going to do about some talking heads in the entertainment scene. And one of the talking heads is Tucker Carlson is making a U-turn on his endorsement of the Orange Jesus. And not just him, we got Margaret Taylor Greene, we got Joe Rogan, and there's a third one out there. I can't keep up with them because I don't watch them, but I see them on the news where they're sound like they're having buyer's remorse. I call it crucifying their Orange Jesus, which they had to do. I mean, the man's becoming so unpopular, but he's like Jesus to them. I know it hurts them to have to do it, but you got to do it because he's an Alzheimer's patient. You can't hide it no more. And so Jesus, they've taken him to the cross, I think, and they did put the Orange Jesus up on the cross. When Tucker Carlson throws you under the bus, you pretty much done in that. I thought. Now I don't know. We'll see. Well, go ahead. What's your
Staying with Tucker Carlson is that he came on and he gave this heartfelt message about how he was disillusioned, and he said he had to carry it on his heart that he have led a lot of people astray with Trump. But if you go back and do a little research on Tucker Carlson has always been about whatever it takes to make the next dollar. Mm-hmm. And what he's seeing or what he's finding out now is that Trump is not popular. So he got to go to the next wave. The next wave is over here saying that, I'm against Trump now, but then again he had been against Trump before. And then when it came up to election time, he right back on the boat with him. So, I just feel he's an opportunist. And like most folks that's saying they don't believe it, Megyn Kelly, she's the same way. Mm-hmm. She's going for the next click or the next subscribe.
And didn't she say he could do the nuclear bomb? Right. He could drop a nuclear bomb, and she wouldn't desert him. But she's deserting him now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not totally. She just on that side about the war was unjust. Okay. So that's the wave she ride now, because she see that the amount of people that's against the war is high enough, so she stay on that side of it. And then of course if it switches, I have no doubt that she'll switch with it.
So, in your opinion, you thinking that all this support that Trump had was just for the love of money? Yeah. That Tucker Carlson is jumping ship because that's his ratings. With exactly. Trump popularity go down, exactly. So does his rating. So in other words, he didn't have no true love for Jesus. It was just what Jesus could do for him, the Orange Jesus that he is. And so that you might have a point. I really believe it. But then there are some true blues out there, maggots, that have really been genuinely hurt. They put all their hopes and dreams in the Orange Jesus, that he was going to put the black people in their place. And I don't know if they were expecting him to go murdering the immigrants, but I don't know what their expectations was. But one thing I do know is that Trump is not. I don't see him lasting past the middle of the year. This year, I know we're hoping to get to the election and then blow him out and all that. But on this trend that Trump is on, I don't think we can wait until November. And that's why they're crucifying the Orange Jesus right now, because it's costing them money.
Do you think that the true MAGAs is okay with the way that he treating those immigrants? They okay with that because they doing the job of getting them out of the country?
That's a good question.
Or are they just appalled as everybody else?
Right, because you still have this 30% that are supporting it, which that's the number. I'm just interested. That's what you're talking about. Where's this? That's still low, but mind you, that's dirt low. 30. When you below 35%, that's family and friends, they call it.
Right.
And so, but we'll talk about the family and friends that are they down for the killing and the murders and the harassment, breaking the Constitution? And if you had to ask me and I had to guess, I would say yes. That 35% that goes nowhere. He shouldn't even be in the 30. He should be in the, like I say, down to 15, 10%. Those are just regular, all of them. I can't make any sense of it because it's just insanity to me. I can't even rationale their point of view. Like we were talking to our guest earlier, and he was saying bullying and terrorism, or his point was that for America, we just bullying, we're not terrorizing. I guess, I would think he would say that. So I'm like, I can't get there. You ain't persuaded me even by definition that that's the same thing. So coming back to the maggots, I just can't. I try to listen to people. I try to see things from other people's point of view, but they are a challenge for me. And I'm like, is this a mental illness? That's where I'm at right now. I think this is a mental illness, and you can't make sense out of mental illness.
Right, because I thought that for the longest is that those group of people that are so like, is also been, to the point that's cultish, like cult and a cult.
A cult, yes.
A cult. And it has all the makings of that somebody is being carried that much by a person, like you said, no matter what it is that they do, what is it that the hold that you have on these people. I understand from the political side, all those folks, like we talked about before, all those folks that's riding that train is that they trying to make as much money as they can while he's in office. They know they probably going to get voted out, but then again, they'll be voted out as a millionaire.
Yes.
They
got him there.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Just like Marjorie Taylor. She came in the Congress having $50,000, and when she left out, she had $6 million.
Yes.
So it's a money. Everybody's on the Trump train. They can say what they want or however they want to say it. Everybody's on that train for the money. That's Tucker Carlson, Megyn, all of them. It's all about the money.
Right, and I don't even consider the Republican Party a legitimate party anymore. They're more like a crime organization. Yeah. Everybody's getting theirs when they can. There's a money grab going on here, and it's our money. It's our tax money. And they always have to make this case that rich people don't want to pay taxes as if they pay all the taxes. They don't pay any taxes as you relate to the common man like me and you and the working person, and you look at what the rich people are paying, how they're contributing, and they're acting like they got a chip on their shoulder. Yep. And like, y'all got this thing totally backwards. You're not paying crap in taxes. It's a little man. And then we talk about gross domestic product. Did you know that basketball, sports, football, and so forth are in the GDP, gross domestic product?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's manufactured in the U.S., right? Distributed outside the U.S. based on U.S. resources, right?
Yeah,
the resources, you know what I mean? The resources,
right.
And I'm just saying, I was being facetious with black people, but we've been a resource since we hit this shore. Wow. Has it been the cotton field or has it been the basketball, football court? Wow. You know what I'm saying? But it's produced right here in America, and it's sold throughout the world.
Wow.
It's a domestic. That's our product. Man. That's why they tell you that NFL, you can't reproduce distribute this without written expression of the NFL.
Yeah, that's right.
That's out the U.S. I'm just making that as one example. When you talk about GDP, gross domestic product, you manufacture that here. And we talk about, this makes me think of Israel, and we send them billions, right, in support of their government. Now, and we've been doing that since I was born, I guess, billions. And so, what is their GDP? That's what I'm saying. And I don't really know what their GDP is. I mean, what Israel, what do they produce in their country to make them rich, to make them be able to buy all these bombs and this and that? They don't. It's us.
It's us, right.
And that's what goes back to this terrorist conversation in our hand. And that's why I say I lean more toward, not that we can't change, but at this very instant, the cat's out the bag. Trump's took the lead, and he showed America exactly who we are, or at least from a black perspective. This is anything you can bring up that Trump is doing right now that hasn't been done to black people. You get that email address and you send it to us because we want to talk about it. I want one thing that's happening in this new Trump era with America, just America in general, that hasn't happened to black people. Black people have been killed on the street. Black people have been disappeared, so to speak, kidnapped, everything. Our rights, talking about voting rights, our voting rights been under attack since Reconstruction. And talking about the government coming in and doing things, breaking into your house without a search warrant, breaking the Fourth Amendment, the Constitution just doesn't exist. Hey, black people already know about this. And so, and then this conversation always comes up when we go to the protest line. And I think we had a little segment there when me and you went to the protest. And as me and you both noticed, there's not that many black people out there. Did you notice?
Yeah, I noticed.
And what I'm saying, well, I'm not going to judge them because if somebody has a reason not to be out here, it's those the black people because they've been catching crap. We've been catching crap over 400 years, and you want us to come out here because you guys then put a criminal in office when you knew he was a criminal coming in, and the only reason you put him there because he wasn't talking about woke stuff because you knew that was a code word and that was a dog whistle for black people. Right. Am I wrong?
Yeah, because that's why it's hard for people to stomach the likes of Tucker Carlson saying is that they had no idea. Like if someone says to me that voted for Trump or supported Trump, if you said you just wanted to see, that's a different conversation. But for you to say is that I wouldn't have guessed that he would have done that. You're lying. See now you're being disrespectful because the fact that you telling me something that you know is not true. Yeah. Said to have that conversation with me about the fact that you didn't know.
Right.
And anybody, I don't care who it is that supported Trump and to come back and your excuse is you didn't know. I'm gonna say to you a lie.
Right, and at best they call that being intellectually dishonest, and it's hard to have a conversation with a person who's intellectually dishonest. Yeah. So we're down to the end, brother. As always, you guys, if anybody's watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. We're trying to build up some content here at the show, and if you want to send an email about some subjects you'd be interested in us talking about, or if you want to join the show, just send us an email. We'll screen you and we'll log in for 15 minutes or be a talk guest. So, as always, brother, it was a great show, man. Enjoyed sitting and chatting with you once a week. You guys come back and visit us next week, same time, same place, 1:30 to 2:30 every Wednesday. And as the ancestors would tell you, always, always do the right thing.